Well, folks, we're on to our next section, and this is going to be all about the Fall Excursion. And who better to talk about the Fall Excursion than the actual director, Shanon Nebo. So, Shanon, welcome. Thanks for spending some time with me to talk about this.
Thank you so much. It is absolutely my pleasure. I love talking about the Fall Excursion.
Good. Sounds like we got the perfect person. Well, before we kind of go into it, tell us a little about yourself. Like, what's your background? What do you do? How did you even find out about RfR?
So, I guess my name is Shanon Nebo. I am a mother of three. I stay home with them. I volunteer for RfR. I have lots and lots of animals to keep me busy as well. So that's kind of where I come from. Um, I got into the secular movement in 2012 when I started dating my husband, Mark Nebo. We went to the Reason Rally together in the American Atheist Convention. And we just kind of got into activism there. And then, as we built our life together and as we kind of found our place, I started helping out RfR a little bit with this and that. This was about 6 years ago. Our volunteer program, things weren't quite as formal then. Um, and so I was helping them out with some of like the background work, which is a lot of what I do. And it's a lot of what I like to do. I like doing a lot of that kind of support work. And then they brought me onto the board to help them keep their financials, all in order. I'm the treasurer. I help with their social media. I'm the social media director. And then the Fall Excursion kind of happened. Was kind of I would say it was my brainchild, but it was more of like my heart child because there's just
Oh,
so much feelings and emotions behind it. Um, so yeah, so I've been with RfR for about 6 years now, and even though I have my official jobs that I do, I'm happy to dive in or help or wherever help is needed.
I got it. Well, and I got to tell you, you're just an invaluable volunteer, and I really enjoy working with you because you're just incredibly smart and really know your shit. That's for sure.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the Fall Excursion. What is the whole purpose, and why even have a Fall Excursion?
Okay, so when we came up, so I kind of came up with the Fall Excursion all on my own, probably 2 years before I even told the board about it. I wanted to do something like that. Um, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to implement that or how I was going to move forward. And then as RfR grew, we were able to get some seed money. We were able to kind of lay a foundation, a financial foundation. And so we were talking about different kinds of projects maybe we could do. And so I pitched my idea of the
Ah,
Fall Excursion. Yeah. um, so it's kind of like, I don't want to say a dream come true, but kind of a little bit it is, because it's something I've always wanted to do. So what is the Fall Excursion? So the Fall Excursion is basically, uh, we all get together at a nice venue. So this is not like a convention or like a hotel type thing. This is all kind of purposely set so that it's outdoors, it's very comfortable, everybody's very in touch with nature, everybody's able to be in touch with their senses, everybody's able to relax and feel at home. So the past two times we've kind of done it at like a very large cabin, and then there were a couple smaller ones where people were staying. We are going to be doing a venue change, which I'm very excited about. And so we're going to be able to get us all together in one gigantic lodge.
oh,
Um,
really?
yes, yes, it's fantastic. I'm so excited. Um, and there's trees and there's mountains and all that stuff, which is all very comforting and makes people kind of relax and breathe deeply. And So we kind of get people into this setting. We have lots of comforting food, everything. We make it all there. So again, more of that kind of homey family vibe. We keep the crowd at around 70 people. So not tiny, but not huge. And that facilitates intimacy. People are able to talk to each other, get to know each other. And so we do all that, and then interspersed amongst all this nature and all this comfort and food, and fellowship. I guess that's kind of a Christian-y word, but what the hell?
It has meaning outside of religion for sure.
It does, yes. I mean, as usual, Christians and Christianity hijacks things. So, people say that they think, fellowship like churchy, but so we have different kinds of workshops where people can work on and hear speakers talk about, why do we believe in religious things? And talk about, we did one on the fear of hell, because a lot of people still kind of have that lingering fear. And we talk about having and cultivating healthy sexuality. And we talk about kind of building new traditions and moving forward. So it's kind of like a kind of intensive, almost therapy, mental wellness retreat, where everybody's really able to focus. Our volunteers are able to really give the attendees a lot of time and energy. Everybody's able to really talk to each other, digest the material. And it's so rewarding to see people kind of move through the weekend, and they start out and they, don't know what to expect. And then when they, the last day, Sunday morning, everybody's just, it's like a weight has been lifted off of them. Everybody is so happy. Everybody feels like hopeful. They feel like they have a place in this world, and they kind of know what to do. So that's what it is. That's why we do it. And it's kind of, it's a lot of everything that we already offer, so we have like the support groups. It's kind of like one big support group type deal, but more. And we have the helpline, and we have the RfR's, the talks. So we kind of take everything that RfR has to offer, and we condense it, and we make it more, concentrated. And we give people this really deep and moving, profound experience.
This sounds like almost like a summer camp. Like it's in nature, cabins, hikes. I assume there's campfires. Is there like singing too?
Yes, of course. We do. We have Mandisa from Black Non-Believers. She's joined us for the past 2 years. She comes and we do like a karaoke session. Which is so much fun.
That's great.
It's like a big party on Saturday night. And sometimes people will hang out. We've had people bring instruments and start playing. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen, and not just in like one large group. People, smaller groups of people are able to go like down to campfires and talk, or sing and play instruments. People are able to kind of do what they would like to do, and participate how they would like to participate.
And so is this like a week-long thing, or?
It is one weekend, believe it or not. It is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow. It just sounds jam-packed, and people still walk away with an amazing experience.
It is jam-packed. We've talked about making it longer, but we really think that if we made it longer, we think that it would be too overwhelming. People wouldn't be able to absorb everything. It's a lot, it's a lot. So as exhilarating as the experience is for a lot of people, it's also very emotional. And a lot of people are able to share vulnerabilities, people are able to share really deep things. And so for something to be so good, it can't last too long.
Yeah. So this happens once a year, and it sounds like it is a ton of work to put together. And does that fall all on your shoulders, or are there other people helping you out?
So it does primarily fall all on my shoulders. But honestly, so the first one, of course, it was the first one. It was a challenge. But after having done the first one, a lot of it is rinse and repeat.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like once we figured out what worked, and then of course we do little tweaks. We all talk together and oh, what worked, what didn't work, and we make little fixes. So yeah, so I organize everything. I make all the arrangements and all that stuff, but that's over the course of a year.
Mm.
And then for the month, like coming up to it, of course, is big crunch time, and I'm super busy. Um, but once we get there, a lot of people help. It is a huge team effort. Much. Um, there's so much, and I have to say that even though the excursion was originally for clients, it really helps us, RfR, as a team, because we are able to all be in one place and all work really hard on a team together to accomplish this feat.
Hmm.
So, we have people cooking, and we have, speakers, and then we have like the person who's kind of running like the front of the house, like, what everybody else can see. And then we have people who are going and getting things, and we have people who are setting things up and taking things down. So, and people who are like helping to clean up afterwards. So it's really a huge team effort once we're all
Nice.
there.
We talked about things that people can expect at the excursion, karaoke and nature and support group type thing, and fantastic talks. When you think of summer camps or retreats, what kind of things will you not see at the excursion?
So obviously no religiosity type stuff. So nobody, obviously nobody has to worry about that. There's also, it's as we keep a schedule, but nobody is compelled to do anything that they don't want to do. So if somebody just wants to sit by the fire and sit out a talk or whatever, or if somebody feels like they kind of want to go off by themselves and
Hmm.
kind of digest things. So we give people a lot of freedom to move around and to do what they want to do. So we're not going to, people aren't really like told, oh, go here, go there. Um, Even with like the food and the eating thing, we always try to have snacks and stuff available.
Hmm.
Um, so we try to make sure that everybody is comfortable, and we try to make sure that there's no pressure. Um, there's the whole like summer campy vibe, definitely. Even though some people can have, we have like room share options for people. Um, and the room share options are definitely cheaper, so it makes it more affordable for some people. But there's lots of private rooms available as well. So not everybody has to like share rooms and, be in like bunk beds and stuff.
Just like
Um,
summer camp.
yeah, yeah. Um, it is, um, there are some like more, I don't want to say adult elements, but adult elements, because the places have like hot tubs and stuff, and so
Okay.
there's like that kind of aspect of unwinding. There's alcohol there for people who want to partake, so like there's that kind of um, party aspect, I guess,
Okay.
especially like in the evenings for people who want to do that. Again, there's lots of quiet spaces for people who don't want to do that. So yeah, so
Wow.
no camp counselors shuffling people around and saying, okay, it's time to sing kumbaya. It's like, no, do whatever you want, whatever makes you feel good and happy. That's what we want you to do.
And I understand too that this past year, something that was added was there are even some therapists on hand who have kind of shown up to be there for folks if they need some professional therapy help too. Is that right?
That is absolutely right. We had therapists there both times.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it just the
Wow.
therapist the therapist that we had this time, it was a lot of the leadership from the secular therapy project team, so
Hmm.
they're probably a little bit more prominent, but we did have therapists there both times. All the therapists are members of the secular therapy project, so they're all listed there. But yes, we do have licensed therapists. Now they can't provide like sessions or therapy. But they can listen, they can provide informal counseling. They can help people if people are having any kind of a hard time. They can offer like one-on-one time with people who need it.
Wow.
So we want to make sure everybody's comfortable. We understand that there could be some really big emotions that happen. And so we want to make sure that we are prepared to handle all different kinds of outcomes and make sure that we can navigate this experience and help people to, make the best of this experience.
This sounds like it's really expensive. Like if what does it cost? Like, so it sounds like it's for both RfR clients and even some RfR volunteers. As a client coming in, what would it cost to participate?
To attend?
Yeah.
Like for registration. So we have in the past 2 years, we have registration, which is billed separately, and then we have lodging. So the registration is all the same. If you stay on site, it was like $170. And that includes all the programming, all the meals,
Wow.
everything. And then we have lodging, which that varied by price. Some of it was like as cheap as like it was under $50 a night. And then some was more people who wanted better rooms and that kind of thing. So we try to make this as accessible as possible. We also have subsidies for people. And so if people want to apply for a subsidy, they only have to pay $100 for both registration and lodging together. So $100, and then they just have to cover their travel to get there.
This is awesome. I love this. And so this was your idea. Do you feel like and it sounds to me, but do you feel like your vision has been sort of realized with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's really great. I love it. I know that people reflect on how much work it is, and especially when we are putting on the event, I'm hustling the whole time. But I just love it. And I love that, this has been realized and that this can happen. So it's the best. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that RfR could help me make my dream come true.
Well, is there anything else that you wanted to include that we didn't talk about in this discussion? Anything we missed?
Goodness gracious. There's just so much that happens at the Fall Excursion. I guess I do want to also touch on that it does bring the RfR team together because we're all doing things, but we're also able to like meet, and because we all work remotely, and we're scattered all across the world. And so we're able to see each other face to face. It is a huge and valuable team building event for us, because before it gets started, we're able to talk, and then afterwards we're able to relax a little bit, to chat, to bond. It's really an important event for a lot of different reasons. And also a lot of the people who come end up becoming volunteers because they just really love the dynamic so much.
So you've been volunteering for RfR for about 6 years. What has it been like for you? What have you gotten out of it?
Oh goodness. Well, so I've been able to, I guess, stay current with some valuable skills. So that's like one thing. That's like a material gain. As far as like being the treasurer, the bookkeeping, and all that stuff, I'm able to stay current on that skill set. With social media, it's the same. Social media is changing all the time. And so I have to stay up on all of that stuff with doing the big events. So it's been a really good opportunity for me to use those muscles and kind of stay in shape, as it were, as far as those skills go, especially being a stay-at-home mom, because you get sick of YouTube and Minecraft and housework. It's really good to be able to put my skills to use outside of
Yeah.
my domestic capabilities. So there's that. The other part is the friendships and the relationships. Um, they've been amazing. Just being able to work with this team has been such a huge part of my life. It's been invaluable. And sometimes team members, like, they move on and then we get new ones on, and I'm able to meet them and work with them. But it's just been so amazing because we all have a common goal. Like, we're all here at
Yeah.
RfR trying to accomplish the same thing. And so working with so many people who are passionate, people who are kind, people who have, like, amazing skills, and it's so awesome to be surrounded by so many amazing people. And that's been great. And then just the satisfaction of knowing that I'm contributing to something that is really providing a material benefit for people. I know a lot of people are helped by our programs, and a lot of people are helped by us being here. They're helped by our helpline, and to be a part of that, to be a part of something that gives back is really important.
Shannon, it's beautiful. I love it. And thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us and about the Fall Excursion. It sounds amazing, and I hope that I hope that more and more people hear it and will kind of want to participate and join in next time we've got it.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Come to the excursion.
Come to the excursion. All right, folks. Well, that's the Fall Excursion, and that's going to wrap up for this section, and we'll head on over and see what's next for the next section.